It's Real Life Topics Podcast, guys. Guys already know what time it is. You guys already know what time it is. It's your girl Stephanie's Godschild, and another Thursday, another exclusive interview, another exclusive topic discussion, and of course, it gets no better than this to have be. I'm honored to have the next interview, exclusive interview at that. Mr. Josh Stokes. The views that we express are not those of Biggs Radio. They are subsidiaries, sponsors, and/or affiliates. Welcome, guys, to Real Life Topics Podcast with your favorite host, Stephanie Godschild. And today we got another exclusive interview, Mr. Josh Stokes. Josh Stokes, of course. Welcome, Josh Stokes. Welcome to Real
Thank
Life
you.
Topics Podcast and Biggs Radio audience.
Thank y'all. What up, audience? What up, guys?
Yes, yes. So, of course, you guys already know. If you do not know who Josh Stokes is, I'm here to tell you who he is. Of course, Josh Stokes is a new age funk artist, R&B soul producer, worldwide performer. And if you guys are not familiar with new age funk, I wanted to break new age funk down to you because of course Josh Stokes is a unique artist.
Thank you.
And Josh Stokes' sound is like George Clinton. If you're familiar with George Clinton, Questlove, jamming in a garage with no pretense. It's just talent for Josh Stokes. Josh Stokes is 37. He's not just also an artist, a soul producer. He's
No
a
doubt.
father of five at that. So it can't be no better than that. Josh Stokes also um has notable collaborations. I wanted to bring that to you guys' attention, and that's Redman, Method Man, Marsha Ambrose, Kim Burrell, Erica Campbell, and so many more. So many more on the list. Um, Real Life Topics Podcast, Biggs Radio audience, please welcome to the stage Mr. Josh Stokes, worldwide
Yo, yo,
performer.
yo. What's happening, world? Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie.
Yes, thank you so much. Josh Stokes. That was my
Mm.
definition of who Josh Stokes is. Could you please tell Real Life Topics Podcast and Biggs Radio audience who is Josh Stokes in your definition?
No doubt. I'm a black boy from Baltimore, Maryland. Um, I am a father, a musician, an artist, a son and a brother, a friend to some. Um, and I'm just a creative, imaginative person that really works their hardest to try not to let all the made up, man made boundaries of the world to hold them back, and just try to constantly pursue my vision and just all the goals that I have.
So, of course, you are an artist.
Yeah.
What made you begin this whole artist career?
It had to do something crazy with the synergy of my mother and my father. Because honestly, from the minute I came out of my mother, it was on with the music. It was like it was no stopping it, and it was just like I gravitated to it from the moment I had any like awareness of what was going on in me. I always gravitated to the music, from when I can remember, like 1 and 2 years old, holding pencils as drumsticks and pins as drumsticks and things like that, or just always humming or harmonizing with my father, or picking up melodies of things. It's just always naturally been in me. My family is a very creative, artistic family, both sides. So I was really blessed and fortunate to be able to have that whole like amalgamation of things and people and ideas, and it just hit me in a really, really strong way. And I'm just thankful for it.
So when you began, when you decided, how old were you when you decided, hey, I want to do this for a living. I want to present myself to the world. Again, you said your parents inspired you because they were
Yeah.
into music. But what was your first time that you said, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this for my whole life.
Probably like 11 or 12.
Okay.
I was dead serious. I was like trying to be a producer. I'm an MTV, BET baby. So, you see the videos, you see the rappers, or you see a Quincy Jones, and you're like, man, I don't know what a producer is, but that's what I want to be. Like I want to make the beats, I want to make the music, I want to make the things for the rappers and the singers to do their thing over. And that's been a strong passion of mine ever since like 11, 12 years old. Shout out to my cousin Keith. He had the Ensoniq keyboard that he had at his house, and he would let me come through and make beats at like 12. And I was just like, I just knew I was at Def Jam because of all the stuff that he was just allowing me to do, and he would record it, and I could play it back like, yo, I made this beat. So at like 11 and 12, I just always had that drive and that confidence to really go after it.
You play drums as well. When did you start playing drums? Did that come with the package deal when you first was using Keith Beats? Was that how you were
Nah,
11 or 12?
I was naturally just born knowing how to play drums.
Really?
Yep. I never had
Really?
any type of lessons or watched anybody do it, and then I did it. I just already knew how to do it. And by the time I sat down behind the kid, it was just like I knew what to do. My cousin Keith
Really?
was one of the first drummers I ever saw, though, that really inspired me.
But God just blessed you with that talent. No
Absolutely.
lessons, no drum lessons,
Nope.
or doing it since you was 3 years old, or
Mhm.
God just look at God. God is good, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Speaking of God, shout out to God anyway. Thank you, God, for waking us up this morning. Thank you for us being able to arrive here at 7 p.m., blessing our children at school. I know a lot of kids did start school this week and last week, and our future starting. So shout out to God. Shout out to God, because we would be nowhere without him, just by the
Word.
way, if you guys didn't know. But yes, you started off as of course, mom and dad, that was the beginning of it. They were into music. You automatically just at 11 or 12 decided to start producing, making beats. What was your first you said you were a producer. What was your first moment of producing when you actually locked in producing as well? Of course you made your first beats, but what made you just go out on faith and say, "Hey, I'm going to be a producer. I'm going to take this worldwide. I want to collab with people." What was
Yeah.
that first moment looking like?
I was like, let me think, like Kanye West, Pharrell, Swiss Beats, Timberland, DJ Premier, Pete Rock, that whole, like I said, Quincy Jones, Dr. Dre, that whole thing of, starting when you start to study and see what's going on, like, oh, that's what a producer is. Oh, that's what they're doing. I do that too. And then you start really making sense of it. And the first thing I ever did was when I was maybe 14, 15. I had a group called Unity, and we were able to get into the studio, and I was producing the beats, producing the vocals, telling like the band what to do, telling the engineer, yo, turn this up, turn this down, and just being as involved in the whole process as I possibly could because of what I saw those people do. And I just wanted to be the best producer that I could be and really just continue to carry that standard.
What was your most influential collaboration that you did?
Uh, Man, probably I played for about 7 years for an artist named Rhett Brown Clark, and I got to follow her and see how she handled business and how she dealt with people and her etiquette when she traveled, and just like such the professional that she was. Everybody that I played for, I would always watch them when they weren't on stage and see how they would carry it. And that really inspired me to really be a professional. So And then I also saw the way she could carry a crowd and keep them entertained. So
Mm.
all of those things was just like, yep, I'm picking up on that. Yep, picking up on that. Yep, I got that. So, and this, I was like 19. So she really allowed me to. I did my first television recording with her. We did Bobby Jones in like 2007, and we traveled quite a bit. So I just really would keep my eye on her and see how she would do things, and I would say, okay, that's how I'm going to do it when it's time, when it's my turn.
You also sing as
Yeah,
well. It's not that you are just a producer, you're a artist, a singer
yeah.
as well. You play the drums. It's like a jack of all trades. I was looking you up and you have a million, almost a million songs now. I'm
Word
over
up.
exaggerating, but I mean, it's a lot of songs. How many albums do you have? How many songs? How do you create these songs? And when did
Yeah,
you get started on creating all these songs you produced?
I have maybe like 15 or 16 albums out now. So that might be
Mm.
like a couple of hundred songs. And what made me want to start doing it was just the fact that I could distribute my own music. I use a thing called DistroKid, where you can put all your music up and distribute it yourself. You don't need a record company. You don't need a manager. You can put all your music up, and it'll go everywhere, and the whole world can see it. That just knowing I had that ability really made me want to do it as much as I could. I always just loved making music, and I also love putting it out, but I never really cared who listened to it. It was just like, I feel like it's my duty to just do my part and put it out, and people will listen to it when it's time to. So that was just always something that was really on my heart, to not be lazy and to just work as much as I can.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's tuning in. We have Tennessee tuning in. Internationally is tuning in. Atlanta is tuning in. Shout out to Kimberly Patterson. The Kimberly Patterson Show will be coming on Biggs Radio at 8 p.m. where she play your forever forgotten hits. I'm just
Word.
saying. Shout out to Tyrone. He said hello. And Kimberly Patterson said talented brother.
Thank
So
you so
shout
much.
out to everybody that's listening all over the world, all the states, and even on Facebook, social media.
Hmm.
So you started when you were 11 or 12, Josh.
Yep.
What is the difference between when you started at 11 or 12 with music and producing versus today?
Wow. Okay, so when I was 11 and 12, everything was just jingle jangle and let's have fun and yo, this is fun and let's do this. And you just think everything is for the love and just for the heart of it. Um, Now you realize it's not that at all. You got to be very business minded. You have to be serious. You can't be, unfortunately, you can't just be this vulnerable, happy go lucky person, because people will start to take you for a fool, try to take advantage of you. If you're too nice, people will try to start taking advantage of you as if like you're a pushover. And those are things that I still wrestle with today, because I'm just like a naturally like imaginative, like childlike person. So like a lot of those lessons hit hard because it's never going to change. You have to be serious. You have to be stern on what you're saying. As far as prices, people will be like, "Oh, come on, man, can't you do it for me for this? Or can we just knock
Mhm.
it down for this?" And it's like, no, this is my price. You asked for me. I'm here. This is how much it costs. So all of these little nuances, people not really wanting to see you win, people not really wanting to see you do better than them. Like all these little things that you have to learn, and it's just the bumps in the road that you have to get familiar with, so that by the next time and the next time you know how to handle it. And I would also say protecting yourself, your time, your space, your peace, who's around you. All of these things are very important. And I wish I would have learned these things at 11 and 12, but you're children and you're just like learning and having fun. But at this age now, they're important lessons to have.
Yeah, that is very, it's I'm glad that you did mention that, because you do have to protect yourself, especially in this business.
Absolutely.
You have to be a tough cookie, as the
Yeah,
old school says. You have to be a
totally.
tough cookie, and your discernment skills have to be on
No
point.
doubt.
Your
Absolutely.
discernment skills have to be extremely on point when it comes to the music business.
Yep.
So you're a worldwide performer, but maybe not so much looking to, I mean, out being an artist, or you do both.
I do both. Yep.
You
Yeah.
do
So I
both. So
perform. I perform my own music, and you know, and am pretty much known for that. Like I started doing these Sunday Jam videos that started getting me a bit of recognition, but I'm primarily an artist that does my own music.
yes, so because you on tour now, or
Yeah, I am.
okay, and you're on tour as representing, as an
Totally.
artist
Mhm.
representing Josh Stokes. So of course
Absolutely.
you are an artist. So you're not just an artist, you're a worldwide performer where you collab. You
Yeah.
can you play drums with for people that you collab with. You
Totally.
people can, so you can be called to as an artist, and you can
Hmm.
also be called to if
As a
someone needs a
musician.
drummer, a
Yep.
musician.
Yep.
Really? Really?
Absolutely.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
What is the most challenging? Of course, we dwelled on, of course, you have to have great discernment skills, but you travel a lot. How do
Hmm.
you finagle traveling? And of course, you are a parent as
Right.
well. So your
That's getting
relationship from
harder.
home.
That's getting harder. Very, very much harder. As a matter of fact, where did I just come from? Shit, I was here, but I had my 10-year anniversary show last Friday, and for the first album I dropped in 2016. And honestly, the whole day I'm getting ready, it's just like, man, I really just kind of want to lay back and watch TV with my boys. I don't really feel like being around nobody today. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just like you have to be disciplined and know when you want to do it, or when it's time to do it, and when it's not. I just went to New Jersey maybe 3 weeks ago, and it was just like, man, I really want to be home. Like I don't feel like talking to nobody new. I don't feel like being around a bunch of people talking. I would really want to just be with my people right now and just, alone and quiet. But that's when the discipline comes in of really having to do your job. And I know that now. Okay, you do your job here, then you can go back and it'll be right back. You can FaceTime them and say, I love you and I just want to do whatever. And then you can go do your job. It's a little bit easier today because of the FaceTiming. But when you want to hug your children, when you want to kiss your children, when you want to grab their face and kiss them on the lips, you can't do that with FaceTime. And sometimes, like, you just need that physical connection with your children to just make you feel better. And honestly, I never thought I would be saying this, like, from a child in my 20s until now, but like, being a parent is definitely neck and neck with being a musician and an artist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's challenging on both ends to even be have able be able to do it.
Totally.
It's a really heavy task being an
Yeah.
artist, a traveling artist at that, and being a parent as well, because you want to be there. You have to make sure those appointments. You got to be at those graduations. You got to be at those
Hmm.
games. You got to
Right.
finagle those things, and sometimes you might miss some of those things
Right.
because, of course, this is how we pay our bills
Exactly.
when we're doing these things for our children and able to be able to take care of our children. But it's just very interesting to see you, not let alone be a worldwide performer, an artist, and a producer. Making songs, you have to be in the studio. What do you think the difference is between a worldwide performer and an artist?
Um, an artist can be a few things. Like you could just be a recording artist where you just record songs, or you can be, just like a something like that. But a worldwide performer is like when you're on stage a lot and you're just active, and mainly what you're doing is like performative. Like you're on stage most of the times. With an artist, you can be in the studio, you can be on stage. You
Hmm.
kind of have a little more variety to the definition. But a performer is usually definitely more so like on stage.
For sure, for sure. Well, of course, guys, you guys already know what time it is. It's time to pay the bills. You guys already know what time it is. It's your girl Stephanie's Godschild in the building with Josh Stokes, worldwide performer, artist, and producer. Josh
Wow.
Stokes in the building, guys. If you guys missed it, of course, we sitting here updating and just getting to know Josh Stokes, getting to know all of the because he's an all jack of trades. He plays the drums. He's a singer. He's an artist. He's a producer, and he's also a worldwide performer that collab with so many great people. Josh Stokes,
Yes, ma'am.
how could if someone wanted to contact you or wanted to check you out or need a drummer or need a performer, how could they contact you?
You can contact me on Instagram at Josh Stokes PMA, or you could email me at jsmuzic1 at gmail.com.
Josh Stokes, guys, is in the building. I wanted
Indeed.
to dwell. I wanted to. Of course, this is Real Life Topics podcast, and we did get to know who Josh Stokes is. Um, I have so many extra questions. I don't even know where to start.
Word up. I'm here.
But you went live the other day, and you were talking about how being a parent shout out to Kimberly Patterson. She said the name itself sounds celebrity status. And
Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am, it's not just sound, it is a celebrity. I mean, he's on his way to the top, of
I
course.
appreciate that a lot.
One of the best up and coming artists and producers thus far,
Thank you.
for sure. I mean, you another thing that I noticed about you too, you're not just a new age funk artist. You was actually doing gospel. You do gospel as well,
Yep.
Josh.
Yeah, I do. At my dad's church, I'm the
Yeah, I
musical
I was
director.
there. Oh, your dad has a church.
Yeah, here in Baltimore.
Oh, okay. So you are a musical dad. I mean, because I would have thought you was a gospel artist when I seen those clippings. I actually that was one of the first clippings that I did see,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, this is a cool. I mean, he's a nice gospel artist. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta find his gospel CD. And then
Nope.
I looked, and I'm like, oh, he new age funk. He like
Yeah.
a jack of all trades. He an R&B artist. Shout out to Rachel Gary. Rachel Gary said, "Hey there, thank you for tuning in, Rachel Gary." But yes, yeah, I was like, he a jack of all trades. He a father. He like, how do you do all this? Like, how do you finagle all of this talent that you have, being a parent, raising the new generation? Because of course, it's a big deal
Oh
to
yeah.
raise the new generation, man.
These
It's
COVID babies is different.
Yes, yes, they're very different. And then we also have to watch our music,
Correct.
watch what we saying to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
How we it's kind of hard for us to just keep them from that totally
Mm-hmm.
overall. I mean, because we want to keep it real with them, because of course this is Real Life Topics podcast, and we want to keep it real with them, but at the same time we want to protect them. I don't know how do you even finagle that?
I like to keep it as real with my children as possible, as much as they can process in their young brains, or I'll even break it down to a way that they'll understand. Like I've already told my 5 year old son about Santa. I tell my 5 year old son about America. I remind him that he's a little black boy and that he should be proud of it and that he should love himself, and but to also protect himself in a white society. So I always try to tell them the truth, just about life and about themselves, and just put it in an elementary way where they can understand. Because I think
Yeah.
that the more we keep from them, the more in danger they can be. I know that I was a very like insulated child. Like I lived in a bubble because it was like church, school, home, and I really didn't know anything else. So when it came to anything that was going on in the street, or anything that was going on, like somebody trying to get over on you, or somebody lying to you, or I didn't know any of that. If you told
Hmm.
me like I was your only boyfriend, but you was dating three other dudes, I thought I was your only boyfriend. Like, yo, she told me. But the homies would be like, yo, I just saw her. No,
Right, with Billy Bob. I just
for
saw her with
real.
Billy Bob.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
we got off the phone and we both went to sleep. That's it. So like,
It's a coincidence you're talking about that because my son, he was in first grade at this time, and he went to school, and it was Christmas, and he was telling everybody that it wasn't a Santa Claus.
right.
And the very next day, the parents came to the school looking for him, like,
Mm,
hey, they had an issue with that.
right.
So I believe in keeping it real with them because of course, like I said, those first graders, not that we're trying to shatter
Yeah.
a kid's dream or anything,
Yeah.
but it was like they roughed up at, looking for me, and roughed up came to the
Hmm.
school like they like, where is that young man that
Yeah.
told my daughter and my sons there is
Right.
no Santa Claus? But it
Yeah.
was the truth of the matter. And you
Is
see how
it
the truth was, it
makes
was a
people
problem
upset.
for the truth.
A person will kill you over the truth, and that's
Yeah,
more in this country what we're realizing now more than any other time. If you speak out, people will kill you and they will hate you because you're telling the truth. And I'm just not really big on. I don't, it's all love, but I'm not big on giving white men mad credit for stuff they didn't do. You know what I
correct.
mean?
Correct.
When it comes to Jesus, when it comes to Santa, when it comes to whoever, I'm not letting my children see white images of like that's right, that's holy, that's correct. Like
Hmm.
that's just
Hmm.
not what I'm on. And that is gonna ruffle feathers because it's just like we live in a white society, like I said. So if anything that's kind of ruffling that, people are gonna be mad. But I'm ready for all of that. I'm ready for all of that.
Yeah, yeah. You have to live in your truth, and you have to, it's a freedom of speech. So,
Totally.
you have to live in your truth. Shout out to Young Teasy, the CEO of Quality Music Management.
No
He
doubt.
said, I'm her to show love and support. He from St. Louis, so I
What
had to
up?
I had to speak it out just like he is saying her. So shout out to Young Teasy in the building. And again, shout out to everybody that is tuning in. Make
Yeah.
sure you guys tune in to bigsradio.com, period, because of course, Morris Day in the Times,
Mm.
September 25th, Indianapolis, Indiana. Your girl Godschild got free tickets on deck. So
That's
make sure you guys continue to tune in on bigsradio.com because we will be giving away free tickets within the next week or two. Make sure you guys tune in. I know your auntie, sister, cousin, and even yourself might be interested in Morris Day in the Times. I know you got to be there September 25th. And even if you don't get a free ticket, the tickets are affordable. Who don't want to go see Morris Day in the
I
Times?
do.
I know. Come on now. Come on now.
That's God
September
right.
25th. So
Speaking of which,
again,
I love to hear people from Chicago say guys. I love every time you say guys, I'm like loving it over here.
yes, yes. Because it's y'all for Baltimore. They say
You
y'all.
to do all that.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes. Comedian Carlton Jones in the building said, yo.
What
And
up?
Young Teasy said, yeah, I had to make my kids watch movies so they can see for themselves. I'd rather them not know what's going on. Shout out to
Right.
Young Teasy. He was commenting on when we were talking.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I didn't let my son hear a little
But
next
yeah,
speeches and all that.
we definitely do. I feel like we shouldn't leave our children in the blind.
Not at all.
I definitely don't think we should leave them in the blind. I mean, of course, we were in the blind a long time to a certain
No
extent,
doubt.
and I think we still should speak truth.
I agree. A million
Yeah,
percent.
for sure, for sure. I see the signal is kind of shaking up because we actually been storming real bad. Shout out
Mm,
to Chicago
yeah.
and shout out to Gary, Indiana, Maryville. Right now, Gary, Indiana is out of power, and they said they
Wow.
power will not come back on for the next 6 or 7 days.
Ah.
And it's been storming out here. It's just been
Whoa.
storming out here for like the last 6 or 7 days in a row. People losing their roofs. The city of Chicago is towed down, towed up.
Man,
It's been a disaster when it comes to the storm, and the storms won't stop. That's what's killing us. Like
we
the
got it a
storms
few
will
days
not
ago.
stop. You guys did.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Baltimore. I don't know what's going on. I do know what's really going on, and I want us all to wake up to this because again, we've never had a wipeout like this with a million storms and thunderstorms and
Tornado watch.
I believe it's a spiritual warfare, and I believe that we all do need to wake up to things like that as well. These storms are not happening for nothing. I feel like it's a sign for us to just make sure that we get our mind, body, and souls together. That's
I'm
just
with
my
you.
personal opinion. With it just being a disaster and tearing everything up for days, several days in a
Yeah.
row. Guys,
Yeah.
let's get it together. Let's get it
No
together.
doubt.
Let's get it together. So, what do you got coming up next, Mr. Josh Stokes? What do you have coming up next?
So I'm finishing off this 311 tour with my people, Seb Marsh and Lucretia TT Bolden. We're going to be hitting Cleveland next Saturday, the 22nd. And then we have a few more dates in September. I'm going to be putting out another album in September. Um, and just doing more shows, honestly. I just want to keep elevating and growing in my craft and as a human being, and just really want to be the best that I can be.
What would you tell your younger self back in the day? That what would you tell yourself, your younger self today, that you would have felt like you would have went by today? What would you tell your younger self?
I would have
What
told,
advice would have gave your younger self?
yeah, I would have told him to stick to his guns. Um, Nobody knows anything, so don't take their advice unless they're trying to, really offer some constructive criticism. But don't take anybody else's advice. Listen to yourself, listen to your gut, and you'll end up in the right place. And just stay patient.
That's very interesting to not take people's advice because everyone definitely has their own opinion and
Right?
has their own ways of advice.
Absolutely.
And so that is very interesting for you to say. Follow your own mind,
Yeah,
follow your own gut.
we know
That is, yeah, you
because
know,
you
mhm,
probably like talking ever since you were like 7 years old.
mhm,
You know what I mean? So that thing is naturally there.
yeah,
That you
yeah.
figure out, okay, what do I want to do with talking? What do I want to do with being a social person and being able to get to know people through talking? Then it's like, blam, internet radio is here, and now I can do shows all over the world and talk to people. That's my passion. That's my purpose. Blam, there it is. It's like
Yeah.
thing that we do is never really too far away from that little passion I had as a child.
For sure, because I've always wanted to be presented in front of an audience anyway. I first started off being a singer,
Right.
and then of course I started having children, so that career kind of faded behind. But I've always wanted to be up front, like you said, and in their face, in their face.
Probably
I'm in their
like
face.
late Jenny Jones, all them
Yes,
dudes.
yes. Ricky Lake, and I got a little bit of Wendy Williams in me too.
Exactly.
Now I get a little bit of Wendy
I'm
Williams
not
in me
mad
too.
at you.
Now.
I'm not mad.
I give you the juicy gossip too. Now I give
He
you the
was the
juicy
architect.
gossip. Yes. Shout out to Sammy Thompson for tuning in. He said, "What's good, real life topics audience? Have a successful rest of your day." Yes, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, and thank everybody for your support. But yeah, Josh, like you said, you would tell your younger self that you would tell your younger self that, hey, don't listen to nobody's advice.
Nope.
Um, your first, because I feel like if you have to question things,
Hmm.
or if you have to question yourself when you are doing things of a part of life, you're 9 times out of 10 just follow your gut. You
That's
know, if
it.
you have to question that, if you have to say, oh, is this right or wrong, or should I make this decision?
Hmm.
You know, so yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
um you have the music.
Yes.
You of course are in a studio. You're still making music to this day.
No doubt.
New, what's interesting about me is the new age about you was the new age funk. Of course, R&B, everybody R&B soul. We grew up on R&B soul. New age funk is more like George Clinton,
All day.
Bootsy Collins,
All day.
that
Slide.
whole field. That whole field.
Yeah, Sly Stone, all those people, Big Mama Thornton, just all of that, like the gutter blues, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, all of that stuff, like that's me all day. And then at the same time, I love Take Six, I love Quincy Jones, I love everything. I really try to keep my ear on to everything, and it's just like a fusion of things that I try to create because I'm a student of it, and I just appreciate the arts and those who came before me. Like today, I was reading this Big Mama Thornton book, and it was just like, wow, like just her life and her journey, and just everything that she went through, just being unappreciated as an artist and being a woman as well, so not being appreciated as that. So it's just like so many things that I really have to be thankful for because it's just like the lineage that I come from of the true artists and the people that are really just trying to free people through their art and just allow people to tap into their imagination as well and to just be that kid. As we grow up, these fake man-made barriers become real because it's like once I'm 7, it's like, man, I could fly, I could do whatever, I could heal you. But by the time I become 12, I don't think that anymore because everybody's told me that's not real, that's not true, you can't do that. It's time to start acting your age, it's time to grow up. So by the time I'm 18, I can do less now because my imagination's almost gone, that passion's almost gone because it's getting beat out of me from society. And again, with me being a black male, it gets even smaller because I'm not supposed to have no feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to have no emotion. I'm supposed to be this tough buck type nigga that beat and kill and have sex. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not truly what we are. Like we come from artists. We come from like expression from the deepest, deepest, deepest part. And that's what I want to remind everybody, like to be childlike, not stupid and immature and goofy, but keep that child spirit in you so that you can really tap into that passion. That's where all of our answers really are. It's not in how much money
Mm-hmm.
we make. It's not in how many people respect us and be like, yo, you, it's none of that. It's if we can tap into that and continue to create or just be our most authentic selves, that's really the win right there. That's the true success.
For sure, for sure. And those artists that you of course, like George Clinton, those are the Bootsy Collins, those are great examples of people being their selves, being their authentic selves. Great talent. I mean, they're so talented, and
Mhm.
they're being themselves at the same time. It's not
Right.
being robotic. It's not
Yeah,
being, I mean, really, really good music, really good
absolutely.
funk.
Yeah.
Instruments being played. I
Yeah.
mean, from original, not the beatbox making sounds
Right.
and stuff like
Oh,
everybody had
yeah,
a sound on stage. And
for real.
I mean, this is, come on now, like,
Changing your
yeah.
mind through thought, like just little lines that George Clinton would say, like "free your mind and your ass will follow." When you think about it, like, that's stupid. But then when you think about it, it's like, whoa! If I free my mind, my body is gonna go with that and really gonna start to embody that way of thinking. It sounds silly, but when you really hear what he's saying, it's really heavy and it's a lot of truth to it. So that's the lineage that I come from, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, yeah. And then and you put new age funk on there. is on. I've never heard the title New Age Funk. I'm sure it exists, but that was very interesting to me too, because of course George Clinton was, they were funk, but the
Exactly.
New Age Funk is like putting icing on it. Who
Totally.
is your, who would you love to collab with? Who, what is your dream collaboration?
George Clinton off the rip. George Clinton,
Mm.
Sly Stone, man, a lot of people. Questlove, Take Six. Uh, man, it's a lot of people that I would love to do things with. But those people for sure.
And those, that's of course before you leave this earth, that's gonna happen for you. We're gonna speak it into existence. George Clinton
Absolutely.
gonna be calling you next week because they
Yeah,
needed that drummer because
no
they
doubt.
getting ready to go on tour. That's, it's gonna
Absolutely.
happen for you. It's gonna
I
happen
believe
for
it.
you. So call me in the next 2 or 3 weeks and say, Stephanie, you was right. They booked me.
I
They
got you.
booked me.
I totally got you.
Yes,
Know
they
something
booked
like
me.
that happening for me. I totally believe that. I don't believe anything else. It could be on my worst day where it's like, man, I know something. As long as I keep moving my feet forward, something is gonna hit me. Something great.
What advice could you give someone that is starting their career um, as an artist, as a producer, as a worldwide performer? What advice would you give them?
Believe in yourself wholeheartedly. Um, don't rely on your family or your friends. They're not going to change your life. They can't get you seen or rich or whatever the goal is you're trying to do. They cannot and will not do it. It's going to come from a stranger, somebody live on the whole other side of the world that don't have a clue who you are. That's going to be the one that's going to break your whole thing wide open. Constantly believe in yourself. Um, to be an artist is not to be an athlete. It's not a competition. Um, there's no such thing as being better than somebody else and making art. We're interpreting things as individuals. So, just appreciate what you do and appreciate what the next person does. There's no need to be threatened by anybody. And just truly love yourself and come with a real unique message where we can feel you and know that it's really you. Everybody's been killed, everybody's been laid, everybody's been drunk and high. So, what can you tell us that we don't know? Tell us something about you, maybe an insecurity, maybe a family thing, maybe a health thing, a mental thing. Let us know something so that we can really feel you. The time of the turning up and busting it, and that's fading out because the
Mm-hmm.
world, just as you were talking about with the weather, the world is changing. We want real things. We need it right now because we done been through a good 10, 11 years of turn up. And there was no truth in that. It was no this
Mm-hmm.
feeling in that. It was very vain and very like surface level. We've done that for about 15 years now.
Yeah, it's no value in it. And the most
Yeah,
important thing is the kids, the children.
right.
We have no room for turning up for them as
Yeah,
well. I mean, it's good to lay your hair down and, like you said, and have that moment,
right,
but that moment should overweigh. That
right.
moment should definitely not overweigh the moment of, like you said, realness, good music, positive music, music of importance. We
Yeah,
gotta have that. We gotta make the music make sense.
yeah,
Messages in music,
yeah,
things that can help us mentally,
yeah. And the
mentally,
influence is
real.
all time high right now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I could come with the dumbest message and get all of your children,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if I come with something positive, I'm lame, I'm corny, I don't want to hear that. But it's because the industry and the people who control it have figured out I don't need artists to be what's the word, influential. I could have you falling down some steps and that's influential, or I could have you just being ultra sexy and now that's influential. So now my 11-year-old daughter wants to be this sexy woman that she won't allow her body to just take time
Mm-hmm.
to grow up to be. She needs to have the biggest butt right now. Her lips got
Mm-hmm.
hugest right now. And like I said, there's always been influence, but it's at an all-time high now because nobody knows who they are anymore. And it's not cool to be unique. it's not cool to be authentic. Like everybody dressed so weird, like being weird ain't even cool no more. Like
Okay.
everybody
Okay.
can't have on big gothic hot topic clothes and think that yo I'm different, yo I'm just me, I'm just think you look like everybody else. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not 2001 anymore where okay I can do really that. Now you
Mm-hmm.
can live a whole lie but just dress a certain way and people will perceive you as that. So we live in very lying times right now where it's like I can say that I'm this and have you hooked, but be living a whole nother life when I turn off the phone. And I feel like we want some real right now. We
We
just
gotta have it. We
yeah,
gotta have it. We gotta have it. We gotta have realness. We gotta be leading by example.
yeah.
And of course I always end the segment with a food for thought.
Word.
So of course my food for thought for today is let's mature in leadership. Guys, we are leaders. You don't have to be the president of the United States to be the leader, be a leader. You don't have to be the mayor of your city to be a leader. We are leaders even as parents.
No doubt.
So this is Stephanie's Godschild food for thought for today. Let's mature in being in leadership.
Hmm.
What's your food for thought, Josh?
Well, right now, what's really on my heart is just being okay being you. You know,
Mm,
just being okay with where you are in life, being okay with few people knowing you, being okay with not being rich, being okay with just eating whatever's in your fridge right now. You know, just
mm-hmm,
being okay with the simplicity of life because that's the true treasure. I like to watch a lot of artists. Like lately, I've been on this Whitney Houston kick, and I just be like, wow, these niggas really killed Whitney Houston. Like from the pressure, from the talking, from the this, from the that, it made her have to do drugs to escape, and it ultimately destroyed her. So when I think about what I'm asking for or what I'm searching for as an artist, I'm making sure it's something that will love me as much as I love it. And it's not
mm-hmm,
because everybody's screaming my name when I go outside and it's like, oh man, I gotta run away, man, because I can't go nowhere. That's not cool. Like when you really hear Michael Jackson them speak, they lived in
mm-hmm,
prison. They couldn't even go to the market. Like, is that what you want? And especially again in this age where like somebody could create a story about you and now it's the biggest hit on the internet. Or somebody could find something about you that you didn't want them to know, and now you somewhere depressed wanting to do something to yourself because man, I ain't want nobody to know that about me yet. So
mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm,
really have to know what you're searching for. Like for me, all I ever wanted to do was just be a musician and create music. I didn't want to be D'Angelo or this person or that. I just wanted to make music. So I just
mm-hmm.
want everybody to just be content with what they do and who they are and where they are right now. And everything will always get better in time. And just keep a positive mental attitude with everything.
That's a great food for thought. Just be comfortable with yourself
You
and
know.
be comfortable within who you are. That is a great food for thought. Well, I want to thank you, Josh Stokes, for coming through on Real Life Topics podcast,
Thank you.
blessing us with your presence. Continue to do what you are doing because you are making an impact. Again, you came across my screen and I'm like, he's making an impact.
Thank
New Age Funk is in the building. One of the best artists and producers in the building. Worldwide performers, Mr. Josh Stokes. Thank you so much for coming to Real Life Topics podcast
Thank
and
you.
Biggs Radio. You have a wonderful evening,
Thank
and it's
you.
time for me to pay the bills again.
It's guys.
Yes. Well, guys, there you have it. Make sure you get your tickets to go see Morris Day and the Times in Indianapolis, Indiana, September 25th. And make sure you tune in to bigsradio.com because free tickets are going to be given away all next week, 24/7, taking you from the latest track to the 8 track. So make sure that you guys tune in to Real Life Topics podcast every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. And of course, if you want the Morris Day at a Time free tickets, I would advise you to be listening to Big's Radio 24/7. Unapologetic Noble is checking in from the Gift of Gab podcast in the building. He said, let's go. And if you guys are just tuning in, of course, we got a few minutes left on Real Life Topics podcast, but you just missed an exclusive interview with artists, R&B artist, soul producer, new age funk, Josh Stokes in the building.
What
And
up?
if you sleep on Josh Stokes, I'm gonna need you to wake up. Follow,
Word.
like, share, because he's not just a R&B soul artist or a new age funk artist. He even do it's just amazing that you were playing the drums and singing the gospel song at your dad's church in Baltimore.
Yep.
Um, but of course, your dad had a church what all your life, Josh?
Since I was 9, yeah. Yep.
Since you was 9 years old. So
Definitely.
you've been playing the drums and been
Yeah.
doing your thing.
I
You've
appreciate.
been doing your thing.
I have to remind myself, like, yo, even when you read that, I'm like, damn, I did work with all those people. Like, I need to remember this because it's like,
Yes.
you like, man, I ain't doing nothing. It's like, yo, you've been doing a lot.
Yes, you work with Marsha
Like, be
Ambrose. I mean,
thankful.
could you tell the audience who you have worked with and how amazing it was to work with them?
Absolutely. Well, I started off my professional career with Marette Brown Clark, and then from there, Anthony Brown. I got to work with Mad Skills from Virginia, Redman and Method Man, Kim Burrell. I got to tour with Anthony Brown and Erica Campbell from Mary Mary, Kurt Carr. I got to work with Beanie Siegel. It's been
Mm.
so many people I've really been able to connect with and get to know like throughout this journey is really amazing, and I'm thankful because a lot of people try it and it doesn't work. So I'm just glad that I was able to do it and it made some type of connection. Um, I've been able to meet a lot of people through doing this, and it just kind of amazes me every day, like what I've been able to do. And like I said, just have to remind myself, it's like, whoa, I did do that. We have no reason to be down about nothing or like trying to rush anything. Like, yo, you've been putting in work for a long time. I've got to like travel the world and meet all kinds of people. Like, yeah, like already winning, already successful.
For sure, because like you said, it's a lot of musicians out here. God could have chose anyone to work with these people. I mean, of course, they've worked with plenty other people as well, but I mean, it's so many musicians, and
Yeah,
for you to be chosen, it has to be a special feeling to even be a part of working with those people.
for real.
Method Man and Red Man, like, come
Yeah,
on now.
I'm thankful.
Like, literally,
Oh,
very thankful for it. And I don't know if I asked you that, but you did. I did ask you who did you want to work with? Who was your dream? Of
yeah,
course, you want to work with a lot of people. You're grateful for most, but George Clinton is very interesting to me because it's different. It's different and it's real.
yeah,
With George Clinton, of course, Bootsy Collins is one of my favorite artists because my favorite song is "I'd rather be with you."
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
absolutely. You know it.
Said I'd rather be with
The
you.
jam.
But I mean, those were unique bands because not let alone it was an artist like the band in the back. What real music, real
Yeah,
music.
real.
No lip singing, no pressing play on music in the
Out.
background. Like
No, killing it. No tracks, no nothing. It was all them every night just tearing it down.
bass
Old
player,
school.
guitar player,
Yeah,
all
keyboard,
type
drums,
of people.
horns, sometimes two drums.
Yes.
It was just like, it was a lot.
So I know it's a lot of you guys out there that are tuning in as artists. Of course, Josh Stokes is a producer, a R&B producer at that, an artist. Of course, he's a worldwide performer. Again, it is all over the world. And shout out to everybody that is tuning in to Stephanie's Godschild, host of Real Life Topics podcast. But if you need a musician, a beat producing, again, it is so many musicians that's tuning in. I'm looking at you guys right now. Hit up Josh Stokes. Josh Stokes, how could they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Josh Stokes PMA, or you could email me at jsmuzic1 at gmail.com.
Thank you so much, Josh, for tuning in,
Thank you.
supporting, and blessing me with your presence. Biggs Radio and Real Life Topics podcast
Thank
with
you.
your presence. New age funk in the building. If you guys didn't know about Josh Stokes today, you know about him today. Hit him up. Follow him on all platforms. Thank you so much, Josh Stokes, for tuning in to Real Life Topics Podcast, stopping by.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys check me out every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Exclusive interviews and exclusive topic discussions on deck every single Thursday. It's your girl Stephanie's Godchild. You guys have a great evening, and make sure you check out the Kimberly Patterson show coming up next. It's Real Life Topics Podcast.
Much love.
All right, now I'm off air now, so I can. We still live, and we still got people looking at us. But you know, when it comes to that on air thing, you got to kind of,
Yeah.
be a
Keep
little
it tight.
safe and careful, and not so.
Yeah. I feel you.
Now I can curse on here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm working on cursing too, guys. My etiquette when it comes to cursing, I'm starting to curse in like every other sentence, and I'm working on trying not to curse in every
I'm not,
other sentence. It's not educational. It's just not.
I was trying not to. I was like, maybe I shouldn't curse on the
We are
radio.
breaking up. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, we are breaking up. But thank you, Josh, for coming through. Thank you
No
so much
problem.
for coming through. We got to collab. Make sure when
Yeah.
you come back, when you come to Illinois, because it ain't no come back to Illinois. When you come to Illinois, you hit your
Yeah.
girl up.
You know it.
Chicago is in the building. Baltimore is in the building. I
Indeed.
know a couple of other musicians that's from Baltimore too. Baltimore got a lot of musicians,
We do.
a lot of talent
Different
coming out of
singers,
Baltimore. So shout out to Baltimore.
no doubt. It's a real hub here of like
Yeah,
art.
for sure.
And in Chicago too. I mean, wow. I just met Teddy Campbell like 3 4 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's for some reason I've been meeting a lot of Baltimore musicians lately. It's a lot of Baltimore musicians, and not just musicians, the whole jack of all trades. Like you can't get no better than the talent that you have playing the drums, singing, making artists in the making seat. You got how many albums?
Like 15 or 16.
Yeah, I kept scrolling through. I was pressing play on majority of them, and I was like, it's never ending. I can't even
Word.
finish off listening to all these songs. But I was listening, and they're so different and unique.
Thank you.
At that, you start off talking. That was something different, and I wish I would have talked about that on air. But what was different to me about your music was you would start off talking like with a message.
Yeah,
Majority of your songs, you talk and then you come in with the music.
absolutely.
That was very unique.
Thank you.
So it was like you what could you dwell on what made you
For
be
sure.
creative that for that?
Yeah, I mean, I always, I know for sure, especially as I got older, that the message is in the music. So you could either feel it in the beat, in the lyrics, or in like a little snippet that somebody might put in between or in front of it. And in the last few years, I'm just really big on letting people know where it is that I stand as far as race, as far as religion, as far as just who I am as a human being. And I just want to let it be known and just don't want it to be like any type of secret as far as how I feel. I'll do serious little snippets in the beginning. I might do some Paul Mooney in the beginning, but it's still a message in it that's letting you know
Mm-hmm.
where I'm about to go. And I love comedy. I feel like there are huge messages in comedy all the time, and I like hitting people with comedy And then you go back and be like, hey, but he did just say, I was laughing, but he did just say that. Like some of my great
Mhm.
lessons I learned from Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor, like Big Mama, Mom Mabley, just people like that. That was just like, wow, that was funny, but it's very true.
Mhm. Yeah. That's another thing too is how, like you said, you when it comes to religion, because religion, now I'm getting ready to go there a little bit, but when it comes to religion and or we're supposed to be straight and narrow when it comes to music. How
Mhm.
do you finagle that judgment
Yeah,
from and you know where I'm going with this. How do you finagle that judgment of R&B versus gospel, or
right.
maybe religion or Christians or church folks? I'm gonna just call them church folk because shout out to One Kingdom Worship Ministries. Of course, I do go to church every Sunday, but I'm still gonna say the church folk part because
Right.
they be
Yeah.
tripping on music. So how do you finagle that?
Well, since we're not on air, I just say fuck you to everybody. I don't the words don't say nothing to me. I know you somewhere touching somebody or sleeping with somebody or drink
Hmm.
smoking something. You have no right to come to me and tell me what I should not be doing. You know, um, Church is as far as I'm concerned, a place of mental and physical control, and I just refuse to
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
controlled or manipulated or taken advantage of any more than I already have been. I haven't really been like an active member in church since I was maybe like 26. So
Okay.
now
Yeah.
it's just like me going as a job, and just kind of like helping out my father, helping out the whole, you know, situation, but it's not like I'm going to like prayer service and Bible study and all that type of stuff. I'm not doing that anymore. I know how to live my own life and live by creeds and morals and principles. And but yeah, that's how I do it. I don't allow anybody to even think they can place their judgment on me because I'm gonna check them off the rip and just let them know you're not welcome here with the ignorance, because that's what most of it is. And people are afraid,
Yeah. Yeah.
and people live in fear, and you fear what you don't understand. So now you're trying to condemn it or kill it or crucify it in some type of way so that you can look right. And I don't buy any of it, and I don't accept it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wish it was better when it came to that
Yeah.
part, because of course we want to praise God. I want to praise God. I feel the Holy Ghost every time I sing for God, but
Right.
it's a control tactic. I couldn't explain it either, but it is like a control tactic that they kind of
Absolutely.
got going on, or something. Again, I know they got love for us and all type of good stuff, but
Yeah.
it
Some of
is mind boggling on the operation of it.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like, praise God. Let's come in here. Let's praise God. Let's love one another. Let's stick together. But all the
Yeah.
two, three, four. I can't even explain it. It's killing me
Yeah.
though. It definitely is
Yeah.
killing me.
I was reading this book
Yeah.
today about Big Mama Thornton, and she was saying how her father was a preacher, and she grew up in the church, but she really learned in the clubs. And they were saying how like the Saturday night juke joints were like just as holy or precious as far as fellowship as the church was on Sunday, because it was like to dance
Hmm.
was like an act of rebellion. To dance was like an act of self-expression, and all of these things were just as holy as the Sunday morning. And
Hmm.
a lot of the time, those same people that were dancing on Saturdays were in church on Sundays. And this is the constant battle with musicians like myself and artists like us, because we come from the church, but it spreads where we can like reach the world, and we have the potential to. But where we come from, they've told us don't do that because that's the devil and that. But it's just like, nah, I'm just really trying to go and like spread love and like give people joy. And like everybody's not gonna become
Hmm.
a drug addict. Everybody's not gonna become an alcoholic. You know what I mean? And as far as you caring for me, that's one thing that I appreciate. but for you just trying to control me, so you can just keep your hand on me. No, don't go here, don't go there. I'm not with that, And honestly, I
Mhm.
never have been. But again, in church, being a black, shut up, children, stay in your place. You're supposed to be seen and not heard, and all that. So you don't get the chance to express how you feel as much as you want to. But now that I'm an adult and I'm a grown man, I can feel how I want. Now I'm gonna say what I want respectfully. I'm not gonna like talk to an elder.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
respectfully,
Yeah,
respectfully, and
yeah.
that's for sure. Shout out. We will be talking about church, and shout out to Pastor Samaya is in the building. She
Word
said,
up.
"Good evening, Real Life Topics podcast," and she said, and that was the days when everyone went to church. It didn't matter what your walk in life was, and
Right.
she said exactly. So I'm assuming she's agreeing to what you
Word.
were speaking.
I
Yes,
appreciate
shout out
it.
to Pastor Samaya.
Even to Pastor Sumaya, I've been telling my friends that I think within the next 5 to 10 years, I think a lot of churches are going to close because I think that a lot of people are turning away from church from that very reason. Um, it's not, you don't really feel the communal love like you used to, where it was just about love and building you up and empowering you. It's more like, where are you? Where you been? Where you going? When you gonna come back? When you gonna tithe? When you gonna do this? You gotta stay focused. And it's just like, I'm not giving my whole life. Like, coming here as a member of a church. Like, they want you to tattoo the name on their head, on your head, and I'm not doing that. You know, it just be like,
It's a coincidence you saying that. Where you at? Where you going? When you coming? And all that. What are y'all doing? Like, stop doing that. Like, come on
gotta
now.
be, you gotta be faithful. I'm like, okay, I hear you.
Pastor Samaya said that's because some are doing church for the wrong reasons,
No doubt,
anyways.
no doubt. I agree.
Yeah, yeah, they are doing that for the wrong reasons, anyways. That's for sure because it ain't even like how it used to be
Yeah.
back in the day with church.
Nope.
Like you say, I don't know what's going on now, and
Yeah.
like you said, Josh, it does appear that it's just fading away now.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be.
It's not.
It's just not like it used to be.
It's
So we
not.
need to get back to that. We definitely need to get back to that, and that also, and I feel like that's why the new generation is struggling.
Yeah.
God is not in their lives like it used to be anymore, and then we can't even go to the churches now and get that
Yeah.
spirit, that anointingness from that because they doing too much,
It's showtime.
way too much.
It's showtime. Now you got the big LED screen with the smoke machines, and it's a show. So
You
that's
better ask Drewski what time it is.
for real. You know,
Ask Drewski what time it is.
we all
Pastor
know.
Samaya said the Bible says, don't forsake to assemble yourself, but it should be a balance to your life as well.
Word. I respect that.
Yes. Yes. That is
You
true.
know,
Yes.
yeah. At this point, I'm kind of good on church. I'm like, I'm good. I think I've gotten all that I needed from church, and I'm ready to just live my life respectfully. Because I never want to down a person's job or career or whatever they have going on. But I just
Mm-hmm.
know for me, I don't feel like church is where it's at anymore. Um, it could be the feeling thing and all of that stuff, but it's just not. I don't feel drawn to it like I used to. Even
Mm-hmm.
like when you first start drinking or whatever, it was like I'm still gonna go to church though. But now it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know if I wanna. Even on Sundays, I really have. It's a lot of mental gymnastics to get myself ready to even go to
Mm.
the building because it's just not that feeling, and then it's like tension between people, unspoken
Yeah. Yeah.
issues, a lot of stuff that you can feel. Like you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
almost grab it like a shirt or something like that.
Yeah. The energy, the vibes. That
Yeah.
is for sure. That's true.
So I go in, I do my job, and I leave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna leave my post unattended or do it halfway. And everything I do, I'm gonna do it as excellent as I can. But I would be lying to you if I was like, man, I'm there, I'm happy. After church, we're going to my aunt's to eat chicken and macaroni. Like, I'm not doing all
Yeah, yeah. Like back in the day, I that's how my grandma used to take us to Pepe's, the taco joint,
exactly.
and Chuck E. Cheese
Huh?
right after church. It's just like you say, the feeling is just not the same
Gone.
feeling as it was.
Yeah.
And like Pastor Samaya said, that's because people doing it. The churches are running things for the wrong reasons nowadays. It's
Yeah.
not just to praise God,
Right.
love one another, have a
Hmm.
solid foundation.
Yeah.
Everyone doing their thing when it comes to church for different reasons now, and it's not the original reason of why we should be there. So
And
that is true.
that's what I was going to say to Pastor Samaya as well. It's like, unfortunately, that's the majority now. Like, if it used to be like 70-30, like we're really doing it, now it's like flipped, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
70-30 the other way. Like it's about getting paid. It's about looking
Mm-hmm.
fresh. It's about trying to be the next TD Jakes. It's about having on red bottom shoes. It's
Yeah, the image. It's all about
yeah,
the image instead of what's going on in the inside, you
exactly.
know?
And that's the most important. Like, what are you really doing on the inside? Like, I don't care if you got a Tesla or an old Chevy. I need to know who you really are, if you want me to invest in you in any way. And right now, when I see things from afar, it just looks really slimy, where it's just like something that you don't want to be connected to.
Mm-hmm. 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 Because as an adult, I've even seen it. At first, I didn't know because I grew up and I had to just go because grandma and them, made sure we went. But
Mhm.
as we're adults now, we're actually seeing through. Hold on, now this
Yeah,
might not be the right thing now.
exactly. And man, I can't even tell you like how much peace I've had in the last few years where I decided to kind of just do my own thing. I just feel like way more at peace,
Mm-hmm.
and much love to Pastor Samaya because it's like I respect what you do as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Shout out to Pastor Samaya, for sure. Shout out to her summer camp. My boys go to her summer camp.
Word up.
But yes, but yeah, and one of the realest pastors there are because we ain't got pastors out here like Pastor Samaya nowadays. Like she even said, everybody doing it for the wrong reasons now. We
Yeah.
ain't we ain't got the true originals now not nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ain't gonna talk y'all to death about church or nothing like that. But what one thing that I do want to leave once again, because I always wanted to be our last words on our food for thought. And my food for thought, of course, was to mature in leadership. Let's
Right.
start maturing. And we're leaders. Let's begin to mature. And your food for thought, Josh, was
Um, to be grateful for what you have and where you are.
be grateful for what you have and where you are. There you had it, guys. Josh Stokes is in the building.
You know it.
Thank you so much for coming through to Real Life Topics Podcast and Beings Radio audience.
For
Have
having
a good evening.
you
Catch
too.
you guys. Wait, I got to do my 5 minute challenge. So I'll see you guys at 9 p.m. for Real Life Late Night After Dark. Of course,
Word
because
up.
I have two shows on Thursday nights, and that's
Tight.
Real Life Late Night After. That's the grown folk part. I got to flip it over to karaoke. I'm getting ready to do some karaoke or something after 9. So karaoke time coming up on Real Life Late Night After Dark.
Okay.
Make sure you guys tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, where your girl, your host, Stephanie's Godschild is in the building. Pastor Samaya said, Josh, keep your head up. This was a good show.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next week. It's Real Life Topics Podcast and Josh Stokes in the building.
Much
Have a good
love.
evening, guys.